Hello, and welcome to the War in the Pacific, where it is the 7th of March, 1942, in the Wirraway versus Encircled Flavor Vale campaign. So our light cruiser destroyer task force catches up with a couple small couple AKLs. Don't know if they're carrying supplies or not. C-class cruisers bombarding Jaffna. Interesting. So the same cruiser task force that had bombarded Nouméa on its way back decides to spend the rest of its ammunition on Norfolk Island. More Allied bombardments. Two modern-ish modern cruisers, Glasgow and Hobart, combined with some E-class and the Trenton, which are more World War One vintage, though the E-class probably, I don't know, Emerald and Enterprise, but are probably very modernized at this point. Anyway, quite a bit of uh, naval action off Cylon. Interesting. Two Allied ships reported. Betty's on ASW patrol. Glenn's picking up cruisers off Pago Pago. This is expected. Small Oscar sweeps ahead of bomber formations in areas where you don't expect a lot of resistance or any. So Burma rifles at Mogwai. It's like I keep forgetting to turn off those lilies or reset them. Interesting. Wildebeest and Swordfish in a ground attack role. Medium bombers coming presumably from Madras, hitting Jaffna. B-17s hitting the recon regiment. This is almost certain to have disrupted the 56 enough. It won't be able to take that base. So if there were any supplies there, we're not going to get them. As the 56 Infantry Regiment, I'm sorry, Recon Regiment is carpet bombed like it was the Panzer off Normandy. Okay, so P-40s strafing in the ground attack role at Cabanatuan. Oh, interesting. There were enemy ships there. Two C and D class cruiser. Unfortunately, doesn't look like. Yeah, the only hits we're getting at that range are from 60-kilogram bombs. So, not sure what they were doing. Maybe they were going to raid. Obviously, they were going to raid. It's a question of what they were en route to raid. So, Dorners are still, flying boats are still picking up our shipping at Kendari. Yeah, of course, these could be operating from Samarunda. But again, I remain suspicious that one of the dot bases, he has some patrol aircraft. Okay. Still not ready for another attack at Manila. So I noticed it looked like he was withdrawing from Luchao, uh, and it looks like he did indeed withdraw. It was interesting. That's a good outcome for me and a good outcome for him, meaning he doesn't want to fight in clear terrain unless he has a lot of forts. Chinese never want to fight in clear terrain, and I wanted that base. Okay, deliberate attack at Urumqi. Reduce the fortifications 1. Get a 2-to-1, so that's good. Of course, we have quite a few more disablements than he does. Oh, so he still has quite a bit of combat power. Well, a reasonable amount of combat power, sending nothing that a cavalry brigade can take. And note that the 56th Recon Regiment essentially has so disrupted, it has no ability to take Dambula. Continue to drive the Dutch deeper into the hinterlands. This was the dot base cleanup. Allies are bombarding Clark. Not much there. Paratroopers. So this is start of our preparatory operations for the Borneo campaign. Now I need to get those paratroopers reconsolidated so I can mop up any patrol bases in the Banda Sea and Term Sea, though I still have probably a couple weeks to wrap up that before I have to sneak carriers through that zone. But mopping up those bases on Western Borneo helps ensure that I can send the carriers that way along the Western Borneo needed and not have them detected. Okay. Well, it's so we completed our uh, resupply of Kamchatka Island, and everybody's heading back towards the Kurils. No excitement in the Kurils. Let's just check and see how battered these units are. Not much disruption, just disablements. The tanks disabled, so you probably cannot attack uh, again without risking taking a lot of losses. First, this cavalry regiment, brigade, sorry, is going to probably get kicked out of Sinning since he has a bit of combat power there. Let's check and see how our redeployments are going. So he can be divided and recover with in a logger next to the headquarters units, and with fresh division there, supplies are looking pretty good. We'll be just about ready to attack again in Kunchang. Let's just check and see how our divisions that made the forced crossing are doing. So they're recovering. But again, they did their thing, and eventually we'll rotate them out once the armor completes the Kunchang Lanchao operation. Okay, so we have Lu Chao we're going to continue, uh, take Nanning, take this hex, and then drive as part of our southern offensive through the times 2 terrain to Quellen, and our headquarters and units are all prepped for Quellen. In the Philippines, 9th Division is landed. You can see it's prepped for most of that. It's prepped for Manila. It's going to move to Manila and join the 25th and the 1st and the 14th to take Manila. As I discussed earlier, paratroopers have mopped up the western bases of Borneo. Um, we've got to make sure there are no patrol aircraft operating here uh, and in this zone in order to get our carriers through. On Cylon, you can see, yeah, look at the disruption of the recon regiment. We'll go ahead and withdraw and see if we can get fragments out. This looked like, a soft spot in the Allied defenses, but it's just not clear that they have enough combat power to be able to take none, or we'll see. We'll uh, keep with the plan at this moment. Bezwada is, a challenging, it's a good base for the Allies to build up as a major uh, air site because it can't be bombarded from coast and it's well positioned to help defend Madras, Viz, and Coconada. And it happens with B-17s to be obviously in range of just about everything. So if the Allies have massed B-17s, as Encircled has done with an American air headquarters, presumably, um, with lots of an American base force with lots of supply and aviation support. Um, B-17s can make any advance in open terrain a tricky, well, yeah, a very tricky proposition, even with lots of mobile AA units. Okay. It's part of the deal fighting a sophisticated opponent. Still looks like cruiser task force here. We've refueled our battle cruisers and our amphibious task force is on the move. It isn't sighted yet, but the Vayu operation is ongoing. And the carriers are positioned where they can make a high-speed run into this zone and um, hopefully catch his cruiser task force staged. It's tricky because I don't want to be in range of Pago Pago and any fighter cover he's got on cap. Not as much worried about long range cap over task force, as this is not. It's airfield size 4. He could put quite a few fighters up there. But the key in positioning this will be to predict where these cruisers stage for their attack. Normally, if they're going to make a run on Suva, they would be in this zone off of Vayu in order to make a high-speed run in and out. So what I'm anticipating is the cruisers move forward as he sights our task force and they prepare. Right now, they are five. Okay, so right now it looks like they are prepared for a high-speed run defending Vaveu. And it looks like more ships here, though my suspicion is those are amphibious task force, not combat ships. But we're ready. So we're gonna move on Paveo and see how this plays out. We certainly, unless there's a really unpleasant surprise, we have a quite a bit more combat power available uh, in this area than when he is available. Those are the type of fights we like. Let's just check in, see if anything unusual happened in air losses. Okay, well, uh, let's look forward to our next chance to talk.